All right, so this is a video, a DIY video of a non-electrician, just a regular homeowner who's going to go ahead and install a whole home surge protector. This is specifically for the new Homeline, the Square D Homeline plug-on neutral. So what that means is you don't really need to, if you watch other YouTube videos, there's like many different adapters where you leave something on the outside, plug it in on the inside. This one is just very simple. It's just you plug thing in on the back. I believe this is where it connects to the neutral bar and then the two hots. And that's it. It's probably the simplest installation that I can find. There wasn't any videos on YouTube on how to install this, so I figured I'd just do this for the other homeowners out there who are just interested in this. I have a 50-year-old house that had a really old electric panel, a 100 amp split bus panel, and I recently upgraded to a 200 amp heavy up. So in any case, I'm reading instructions here, and in reading instructions, one thing I did want to point out is that this requires, this is right here, should be installed close to the main circuit breaker as much as possible. And then they have a picture of it kind of installed right up there. All right, so here I am at my panel. This is my brand new panel that was installed. And again, I mentioned I had a really old panel. Disclaimer, I probably should have said this to begin with, is if you're not comfortable doing this, consult an electrician and don't do this yourself. If you're on this video, I assume you're a DIYer like myself. And in any case, you need to remove these screws. And these screws have like this little square on it. So I have the right head. I have one of those bits that you buy at like Lowe's and Home Depot that brings a bunch of different bits size. So I found the right one that fits right in here. So you're going to remove these screws. But obviously before you do that, I'm sorry for the blurry video, I'm trying to do this one-handed. You want to turn the main breaker off. And what I'm going to do is one at a time, I'm going to take each one of these breakers out, starting from here, and then move it down too. So I'm going to move this one down here, that one down there, and just move every single one down a bit to leave this space open. And then that's where this will go. It's a plug on neutral, and it should fit somewhere behind here. See how it pops out a little bit? So hopefully this fits. I did read some reviews where people say it doesn't fit, it pops out. So let's see how this works. Again, this is from a perspective of a DIYer. I am not an electrician. And if you're watching this video and you're an electrician, why are you watching my video? You're an electrician, you probably know a lot more than me. This is, again, just a quick review, homeowner's perspective on how to install this. Right now I'm using this handy dandy flashlight, this Ryobi flashlight, to illuminate this area. It's a workshop light. It's still on. I should have turned it off, but I just kind of want to show you how the inside of my panel looks like. Your panel may be different. Now keep in mind, this is a very specific plug on neutral. That's what this bar is right here. What I'm about to install only installs on this type of panel. It's a plug on neutral, so these really long bars that go along the side, that right there, that's where this piece right here will clip onto, and then these two will then snap into those down here, and that's hot, and I definitely do not want to touch that. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off and be careful not to touch anything up there. Even though there's plastic protectors, I do not want my hands anywhere up there. And what I'm going to do is pop out one breaker at a time and kind of line it up with this down here. Just move it down and make my space up there. I just want to show you what I'm doing right here. So I've already just moved these three down so far. But what I'm trying to do is maintain the cable management. So my electrician, whoever set this up, I think did a fairly good job compared to what I came from. I came from a really small panel rat's nest. But in any case, I want to try to maintain the cable management and see how he has it really nice. So by moving it down just 2 spaces, I'm then kind of moving these hots down a little bit to try to mimic the nice cable management that he did. All right, so I now have space up there. I moved these down. There was these 2 wires that were kind of tight, so I did have to yank it down a little bit. There was a little bit of slack up here, but you know, you don't want to have these wires too tight. I'm going to go ahead and while the panel's off, and I'm also going to make sure I re-tighten all these up just in case anything is loose. Install this. And again, I think it snaps into this right here on the neutral bar first, and then snaps into those two things right there. So we'll give it a shot. This is how it looks like. Go ahead and try to do this one-handed. I probably need two hands for this. So there's no way I can hold the camera and install this. So I'm going to go ahead and put it down and show you the end result. That was actually really easy. That took only 2 seconds. As soon as I put the phone down, I snapped it right in, and it's nice and well secure. So the last thing I got to do is down to my panel, make some openings, these two down here, open them up. I'm going to use some pliers, and then put this back on, power it up, and hopefully everything fits well and works well. All right, so this is how it looks like installed. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, again, me being an amateur homeowner, DIYer, if it's good, it doesn't pop out. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this looks like a good fit. So this is how it looks like from afar. I mean, that's the panel, upgraded panel, 200 amps. And I now have a whole house home surge protector. And I'm gonna go ahead and power this on. There, a little tough. Look, it's green. And again, I apologize for the focus. I'm doing this all one-handed, so things are going to be out of focus. Turning it on. So here it is. It's now connected as close to the main as possible. I did have to move these things down as I showed you, but it is very simple. I mean, you just pop these things out and then put it feet first and rock it back in. And if a homeowner like myself can do it, you can do it too and save yourself a lot of money. Now, this is sort of pricey. I got this at Lowe's. My local Lowe's store has it in stock for about $95, $99, somewhere around that range. But now my whole house is protected in the event of a surge, lightning strike or something of the sort. And it was just a super easy install. If you're not comfortable doing this yourself, call an electrician. Oh, there's actually one additional detail I forgot. We want to update this. So obviously things have moved around. Now this is printed out. I printed it out and I went ahead and updated it and added a surge protector. I have this in an Excel spreadsheet and I just moved it down. So you can DIY it yourself. I'm not sure if certain local codes allow you to print your own one out. But I do know that they do sell, sheets that you can stick on. But hey, I just saved myself a couple dollars. I like the printed version out because this house is really old. This house has been remodeled a couple times before I bought it, so I inherited this. I want to fix a lot of these overloaded circuits, but I couldn't fix it because I didn't have the space in my box. So I recently upgraded to this 200 amp box. Now I have a lot more spaces. So bit by bit, I'll start breaking these things down and reducing the amount of things that are connected on one circuit. And another thing I'll be doing is I'll be looking at specifically, my bedrooms and other dwelling units and changing things out to GFCI arc fault breakers. And it's very similar because, those things are also plug on neutral. So just similar to how I install that, as time goes by, I will start changing out these regular breakers and changing them into GFCI arc fault. They're just 10 times more than these individual breakers. These breakers cost more or less about $4. You want to get a GFCI arc fault breaker, that's about $45. So, if I were to change every single one in here, that's roughly about $800 to $900 worth of breakers. So I don't think you need to do that for every single one. I'm not trying to be up to code, but I just want to make sure my family is safe. So I will be doing that for like the bedrooms and living room, anywhere there's like pretty much an outlet. I want to make sure that it's a GFCI / arc fault breaker in case there's an arc, it should trip the breaker. But that's a different story. Just kind of want to give you some background on that. I do not claim to be an electrician. I'm sure there's probably things that you should do better than me, but this is just a very simple guide about how to install. Hopefully it was helpful for you folks out there. Thank you.